U.S. weather news. Unusual cold wave at the end of August. Good evening, dear viewers. You are watching the National Weather News Forecast. We are delighted to be with you in today's broadcast to analyze and update a meteorological phenomenon considered extremely rare in the United States. As we move into the final days of August, instead of the usual summer heat, much of the country is experiencing an unusual cold wave, with many areas recording temperatures typical of mid-October or even early November. This is something almost unseen in recent history. According to meteorologists, the last time we experienced a similar weather pattern was back in 2014. This anomaly is not only about a sharp temperature drop, but it also brings significant impacts such as thunderstorms, flooding, and even influences on Atlantic atmospheric activity as hurricane season approaches its peak. That's why in today's bulletin, we'll give you a full overview from the causes of this phenomenon, regional impacts, to the 10-day forecast and important warnings you need to know. Overview of the rare weather event. Let's start with the big picture. A high-pressure ridge is currently dominating the U.S. Southwest, especially around the Four Corners region where Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah meet. This high pressure has enhanced the North American monsoon, pulling moisture from the Gulf of California and the Pacific deep inland, triggering scattered thunderstorms. Meanwhile, a low-pressure system is active over the northeast U.S. and eastern Canada. Behind it lies a very strong cold air mass plunging southward. As a result, a northwesterly flow now covers much of the country, driving Canadian cold air straight down into the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, and the East Coast. Typically, such a pattern only shows up in fall, October or November, when northern cold air masses can easily penetrate south. But to see this in August, during the very peak of summer heat, is truly extraordinary. Experts believe that the early arrival of such strong cold air may be an important signal, not only for current weather but also with mid- and long-term consequences, including Atlantic hurricane behavior and even this coming winter season. Regional impacts. 1. Midwest and Great Lakes. The most dramatic change is in the Midwest and Great Lakes, where the cold is deepest. Daytime highs in many areas are only around 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 21 degrees Celsius. Nighttime lows in Wisconsin and Michigan may drop to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 to 6 degrees Celsius. Some northern Wisconsin stations even recorded near 35 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, at dawn. Because of the sharp contrast between the warm lake waters and the incoming cold air, the Great Lakes face a high risk of waterspouts, tornado-like vortexes over water. The risk is highest Thursday and Friday mornings. 2. South and Central Plains. In states like Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and Texas, the biggest threat is not cold, but heavy rain and flooding. Forecast models show rainfall totals of 4 to 8 inches, 100–200 millimeters. In some local areas, especially between Wichita, Kansas, and Little Rock, Arkansas, totals could exceed 12 inches, 300 millimeters. This raises the risk of flash flooding, especially in Tulsa and Fort Smith. Severe thunderstorms are also possible, with strong winds, hail, and even a few small tornadoes. 3. East Coast and Northeast. From Pennsylvania and New York through all of New England, Canadian cold has set in. Daytime highs are just 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 22 degrees Celsius. Nighttime lows dip to 40 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 to 7 degrees Celsius. Mountainous areas may see 38 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. Over the past 48 hours, more than a dozen daily low temperature records have already been broken across the Northeast and Ohio Valley. 4. Southwest and Rockies. In contrast, the Southwest and Rocky Mountains remain under the influence of the monsoon. Moisture from the Pacific and Gulf of California is fueling scattered showers. While rainfall is not extreme, it helps ease drought conditions in states like New Mexico and Arizona. However, flash flooding in valleys and desert terrain remains possible. 10-day forecast. Fall like September. As we approach September, Models consistently show the cold trend continuing. August 31st to September 1st. Cold persists from the Midwest to the East Coast. Highs 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Lows near 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Sept 2 to 3. A brief warm-up in the plains. But it comes with thunderstorms, hail, and gusty winds. Sept 4 to 5 onward. Another, even stronger cold blast from Canada arrives, making early September feel like October, or even early November. The Climate Prediction Center estimates a 60% chance that in the first 2 weeks of September, temperatures from the Great Plains through the Ohio Valley and Northeast will remain below normal. Extreme weather, flooding and storms. The central U.S. faces heavy rainfall from training storms, thunderstorms repeatedly moving over the same region. Wichita to Little Rock could see 4 to 10 inches, 100–250 millimeters, of rainfall. Flash flooding and swollen rivers are likely. Authorities again stress, turn around, don't drown. Just 6 to 8 inches of water can sweep away a small car. Alongside flooding, severe thunderstorms may produce damaging winds, hail, and even isolated tornadoes in Oklahoma and Arkansas Thursday into Friday. Temperature snapshot. Forecast maps for the next 7 to 10 days show a striking picture. Deep blue shading, below average temps, cover most of the Midwest and East. States like Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and all of New England are well below seasonal norms. Texas, Florida, and parts of the Pacific Coast remain warmer, around 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 to 38 degrees Celsius. By Friday and Saturday mornings, lows in Wisconsin and Michigan may reach 37 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. In Pennsylvania and New York countryside, lows may be 40 to 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Many residents are already pulling out fall jackets in late August. Experts emphasize this is one of the strongest late summer cold waves in decades. Early September outlook. Both GFS and ECMWF models agree. After a short warm period in the plains, a second cold front arrives in early September. This means early September 2025 could feel like October. Morning lows may break records. Daytime highs will stay in the 60s to 70s degree F. The collision of cold air with lingering southwest monsoon moisture could also spark strong thunderstorms or even widespread severe weather between Sept 1 to 5. Atlantic hurricane season. Meanwhile, the Atlantic hurricane season is heading toward its peak. Tropical storm Fernand has already weakened and moved away. But conditions in the main development region of the Atlantic are ripe for 1 to 2 new tropical cyclones between Sept 1 to 10. The Caribbean and Central America should also stay alert for potential disturbances in the second week of September. The peak of hurricane season is September 10th, less than 2 weeks away. With cold air intruding unusually early, any tropical interaction could create unpredictable outcomes. Long-term significance. Meteorologists suggest this rare late August cold wave may foreshadow a harsher than normal winter. Such strong, early cold incursions rarely happen in August. If they continue in September, winter 2025-2026 could be severe. Also, with Atlantic and Caribbean waters running warmer than average, the clash between warm seas and cold outbreaks could help fuel stronger hurricanes later this season. Warnings and conclusion. In summary, the United States is facing a rare and challenging weather pattern. Midwest and Great Lakes, prepare for early cold. Check heating systems. Protect crops from frost. Southern Plains, stay alert for flooding and severe thunderstorms. Never drive through floodwaters. Atlantic and Caribbean, keep watch on hurricane updates. Peak season is approaching. The next 2 weeks will be full of volatility, unusual cold, heavy rains, and possible tropical developments. This is a reminder that our climate is becoming more unpredictable, requiring communities and individuals to remain prepared. Thank you for watching today's forecast. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss important weather updates. We'll continue to bring you timely, accurate, and comprehensive reports. Wishing you a safe and peaceful day in all weather conditions.